Good morning, Emerson. Today is Tuesday, November 19th, and I'm Ron Burgundy. Well, I'm not, but the real one is coming to Emerson. We'll tell you all we know about Emerson's Guest of the Year.
And later, we'll talk about how the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the city of San Francisco helped one little boy's dream of becoming that kid come true.
I'm Anthony Chase.
And I'm Maggie Morlath. Welcome to Good Morning Emerson.
We have a winter wonderland on the show today. Rose Fodera is here, and she's going to be making snow globes with Maggie. That should be an interesting little demo.
Yeah, getting back in touch with my DIY roots. So excited. Snow globes are quite easy to make, actually, so this is going to be really good craft to show you.
I hope that super glue works, because I do not want my present ending up all over my mom's new rug. So.
Well, don't worry, Anthony. Anthony later is going to be speaking with Lucas Frankel, who's a student here at Emerson who has started his own sports blog called Standing O Sports.
That's right. The blog has garnered more views than anybody could ever imagine coming from a few journalism students. People are really starting to take them seriously, and it's exciting to see out in the real world. But also there is some serious news we have to talk about today. Natural disasters here in the U.S. and over in the Philippines.
That's right. We'll be talking about tornadoes that happened here in the Midwest, but we'll also be covering more on the Typhoon Haiyan from the Philippines. Now, though, we turn to Brittany Gervais, our news correspondent, for some shocking news close to home. Brittany?
Thanks, guys. I do have some tragic news out of Arlington this morning. Police are confirming 2 adults and 2 children were found dead inside an apartment yesterday in what appears to be a triple murder-suicide. The victims were identified as 43-year-old Scott and Maycom Jones with their twin boys, Colt and Cameron. The twins would have turned 1 year old on November 26th. The woman whose mother lives in the area says the couple may have been having some problems. The victims were found shortly after noon when a neighbor called Arlington police to investigate. Now, Midwesterners are piecing together what happened after a series of tornadoes touched down Sunday. The storms killed 6 people and destroyed at least 70 homes in Illinois alone. Videos shot by Illinois residents showed the huge tornado as it passes by their homes. The force was strong enough to topple cars and rip the tops off of houses. The damage in Indiana is so extensive that more than 160,000 residents found themselves without power the next morning. 2 National Weather Service teams surveyed the damage Monday as they try to get an idea of just how powerful these storms were. Now, the fate of notorious Boston gangster Whitey Bulger was decided Thursday. The mobster was sentenced to 2 life sentences with an additional 5 years. Earlier this year, Bulger was convicted of 31 criminal charges, including extortion, drug dealing, and money laundering, just to name a few. The federal court also found Bulger guilty for his participation in 11 murders. Many family members of the victims testified in court at Bulger's sentencing hearing, but Bulger didn't make any attempts to address them. However, he just sat quietly as his sentence was read. Now, Boston medical teams are headed towards the Philippines to help survivors of Typhoon Haiyan. The storm displaced nearly 4 million people, killing at least 4,000 others. Here you can see the moment of the storm surge. It destroyed crops, livestock, fishing boats, things many people in the area need to survive. Now, the 7-member team left Sunday morning. Another team from the Massachusetts General Hospital is also expected to leave within the next 2 weeks. Now, Toronto Mayor Rob Ford geared up for a showdown yesterday when City Council voted to strip him of his powers. Well, I guess it's because his behavior has been a little erratic recently.
I don't smoke crack, and I'm not a crack addict. Have I? Yes, I have. So that's what I didn't lie. I don't smoke crack. I haven't smoked crack in over a year.
Now, the vote passed, leaving Ford just a figurehead for the Canadian city, the city that's trying to move as far away as it can from him. The Toronto Argonauts are hosting their Eastern final, and he wasn't even invited. And 109th Santa Claus Parade has asked the mayor to stay at home this year. It might upset the kids. Now, that's all the news I have for you this morning. Back to you guys on the couch.
So the footage from the tornadoes in the Midwest is absolutely crazy. What's the next step for the people who have been affected by this?
Well, a lot of organizations are giving money to survivors who have basically lost everything in these tornadoes. But what you can always do is just donate however much money you can in order to help these people out. But what I'm really wanting to see is this community come together in the face of all this destruction and help each other out.
Rob Ford stripped of all his mayoral powers. What does that actually make him now, though?
Well, actually, he still has the title of mayor of Toronto, just without all the power. And actually, funny story, when he was actually stripped of his powers yesterday, he had a little bit of a freak out. You see him run across the room and like push over another city council member. So he's definitely just been a little bit weird lately, but basically he's just a figurehead right now. He has no real power anymore.
You can't really expect anything else from the guy. Thanks, Brittany. Well, Mal Meyer has been keeping track of these storms and the damage they've caused. Let's go to him for more on that right now.
Good morning, Anthony. Yes, very scary weather in Illinois and across the Midwest this weekend, with the warm air colliding with a cold front. That's what produced these tornadoes, and because of those colliding air pressure areas, we will get some residual high winds and some rain here in Boston. Right now, it's 43 degrees. And later on today, wind speeds from 15 to 20 miles per hour. Bundle up, we're looking at a temperature of about 41 around noon, but at least the sun will be out in full force later on. And that sun will set at 4:19 tonight. The temperature will actually rise again at around 6 p.m. to 43 degrees. After that, it will gradually cool down to 34 overnight. Clear skies through and through. And tomorrow, similar weather with a high of 44 degrees, bright and sunny all afternoon. And good news, that wind will have died down with some gusts here and there, and at just about 10 miles per hour. By sunset, those wind gusts will have stopped. Clouds will have rolled in, but just partially cloudy skies for the rest of the night. Low of 32 around midnight. And that's what's happening today and tomorrow. Let's take a look ahead at the rest of the week. On Thursday, overcast during the morning, turning into partially cloudy skies in the afternoon. High of 48 around noontime. And by about 6 o'clock p.m., temperatures will have leveled off to 42 degrees, and that will carry on through the rest of the night. We'll continue to see those temperatures rise on Friday, looking at a high of 53 at noon with mostly cloudy skies. And there will be some rain clouds during the evening, 30% chance of rain at night, low of just 40 degrees. And on Saturday, rain on and off throughout the day, high of 45. But hopefully that will change by the end of the week, and I'll have an update, of course, for you on Thursday. I'm Mal Meyer. Back over to you, Maggie.
So Mal, we actually have quite a bit to talk about with regards to weather today. You said that we may see some after effects of the Midwest storms. Could we get tornadoes here in Boston?
Well, Maggie, that's highly unlikely. They were very unusual storms to hit Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, of course, Illinois, and even parts of Kentucky. Tornado season here in the Northeast is around June, July, August, though it is kind of, we have seen some in May and November, so they aren't unlikely. There was an outbreak actually in 1989, in Connecticut, where we had an outbreak of November tornadoes.
Well, thank you so much for the update, Mal. We look forward to more updates later this week. But for now, let's go to Anthony and Mike.
Standing O Sports is a sports blogging and news website founded and created by two Emerson students.
The site covers everything from the big leagues to local stories, and they even make their own GIFs. It's also reached over 25,000 people over the past 2 months.
We're joined now by one of the founding members, Lucas Frankel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it is an absolute pleasure to be here.
So I actually read articles off your website, believe it or not.
Thank you.
And so I want to know, what was your motivation for
All right, well, it all started because I went to an Emerson Sports Business Society meeting, and afterwards, this guy pulled me over. He was like, "You want a job when you graduate? Make a blog." So I was like, interesting. So I went back to my room. I wrote 3 or 4 stories all about the Jets. I was like, Jets need to do this, Jets need to do that. So I wrote 3 or 4 stories, and then it escalated, and then it was just, you want a job after college? Make a blog. So I did.
Let's make a blog, Anthony.
And yeah, well, it's really taken off, and now it seems like, you know, you guys are competing right up there with, you know, Bleacher Report, some of these other
We're not
bigger
out there
ones.
yet. We're not out there.
But-
They make millions of dollars. We don't make money.
Look at the quality of the site. I mean, who are you actually trying to reach now? Because it seems like you're a pretty broad audience.
Yeah, it's a good thing about the site is we can reach as many people as we want. We can reach hardcore sports fans. We have a lot of NFL draft stuff with Jack Andretti, one of our other writers. We have, you know, people that just want to see cool plays. We got someone who makes gifts for us, and then there are people that, you know, just want to read hardcore sports stories, which is what I do. Very hardcore.
Now, I know for you and anybody that really knows you knows that you're vocal a little bit.
Your opinions?
Does that come out in your writing at all?
You know, I've been ripped apart. People literally want to make me cry based on the stuff I wrote. I wrote an article of why David Ortiz his numbers show he should be Hall of Fame, but if he did make the Hall of Fame, then that would ruin the integrity of the Hall of Fame because
Don't
he
listen.
did.
Don't listen, Anthony.
It struck a lot of nerves, and then people were like, I'm not even going to read this because of how ridiculous it is. You make no sense. And I wrote an article that after the Patriots lost the game that, get over this call because I went against you. Calls go against teams all the time. The Patriots are complaining, so it's like, get over it. And then fans were just like, be quiet, Frankel. You don't know what you're talking about. So it's really amazing about the criticism I've gotten. I guess it just shows the credibility of the site. People really, they're into it, and I've been ripped apart. But I mean, I keep telling one of the other founders, like, why do people hate this so much? I try to be as unbiased as possible when I write.
That's probably part of the enjoyment is that, they always have content to look at and they really appreciate that. How do you guys keep up with that with the small staff that you have?
I try to write as much as I can. I got a pretty busy schedule, but I try to write 1 or 2 articles a day minimum. I know Mike Lucas, our founder, tries to write as much as he can. So we're committed to this, and we're going for it.
You guys had an article up about Monday Night Football within an hour of the game ending. So
that's all me right there, by the way. I write Monday Night Football previews and recaps before and after every game. That's my job. That's what I make sure I get that done.
Okay. So when you look at the site, it's pretty professional looking, and you guys really should go check it out. It's Standing O Sports, but we have to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Back Kid! Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
We are so excited about our story today. Miles Scott, a 5-year-old boy, has been battling leukemia for 3 years now, and he had the amazing opportunity to be Back Kid for a day.
That's right. If you haven't seen the story yet, the entire city of San Francisco was transformed into Gotham for a day just to make this little boy's dreams come true.
This was done with the help of Make-A-Wish Foundation. If you've never heard of them before, they're an organization that just help make the dreams come true of kids who are battling cancer and other terminal illnesses.
He just had an amazing, overwhelming show of support. They actually had to turn some people away. That's how many people showed up just to see this kid go through the obstacles and defeat the villains and save a damsel in distress. It was a pretty exciting show.
That's right. What Back Kid had to do was go from crime scene to crime scene, fake crime scenes, but still exciting nonetheless. He captured the Riddler, he defeated the Penguin, and he also saved a damsel in distress.
But one of my favorite parts about this story, after it's all said and done, it's good to hear that Miles is actually in remission with his leukemia, and that's sort of the core of this story is that, this kid has faced so much adversity in his life and he's been able to overcome that. He really is a superhero in that sense.
In his short life so far, he's just already came out swinging, but he's received an overwhelming amount of support. Obama actually sent him a Vine in which he said, "You go, Miles, you saved Gotham."
Thanks for saving Gotham.
Right?
but I mean, this really brings out one of those, childhood motifs of wanting to be a superhero. I remember when I was 6 years old, I may or may not have dressed up like Hercules. It was around the time the Disney movie was coming out. That was really popular. I know my mom, back in her day, was really influenced by the Adam West version of the Caped Crusader. But I mean, every generation has their sort of superheroes.
That's right. Every little boy and every little girl wants to be a superhero. And even the Batman brand itself has received such a legacy. Christian Bale was even asked about how he felt about Bat Kid and what it meant that this little kid just wanted to achieve his dreams by becoming a little Batman himself.
Even though he can be kind of a wild card on set, I think Christian Bale is a cooler influence than Adam West. No offense to the classic Batman, but
that's right.
Good luck, Miles. We're all pulling for you, and we're really excited that you had that amazing day.
Now, the Pats had the Monday night spotlight last night in Carolina, so let's go to Mike to see which team made a better statement.
Hey guys, look, I'm back. And so are the New England Patriots. Last night, the Pats took on Cam Newton and the 6-3 Carolina Panthers. It started off with the Pats trying to find an answer for Cam Newton. That boy can run, and as you see here in the third quarter, he can throw also. That's a 15-yard bullet to his tight end, Greg Olsen. Panthers go up 7. Now, fourth quarter here, Panthers still up 7. Stephen Ridley fumbled early in the game, but made up for it with this 1-yard touchdown run. Tie game, 17-17. Now, late fourth quarter. Third down, Cam Newton makes things happen like Super Cam. There's Batman, there's Super Cam also. Look at that. That's his 15-yard run, keeps the drive alive, and then they finish it off. A 25-yard touchdown pass to Ted Ginn Jr., the former Ohio State standout. Panthers go up 4, and then the last play of the game, pass interference, interception. What was it? It was an interception, no call. With this loss, the Pats are now 7-3. Looking ahead to next week, the Pats will take on the Denver Broncos on Sunday Night Football. It's Brady versus Manning, round number 14. Now, it was a New England versus Carolina battle on the gridiron last night, but it was also that same battle on the ice. The Bruins took on the Carolina Panthers. Now, first period, Bruins on a power play, some nice perimeter passing, sets up Riley Smith in front of the goal, who redirects it. Bruins up 1-0 early. Still in the first, off a face-off, Seidenberg shoots it from the blue line and redirects it for Boston's Carl Soderberg for another redirection. Bruins up 2-0, and then late third quarter, loose puck, Johnny Boychuk steps in for the one-timer. That's his first goal in 62 games. The Bruins win 4-1. Hey, remember when the Celtics lost their first 3 games of the season and then won their next 4? Well, guess what? They've lost yet another 3 straight. They'll look to end that tonight against the Houston Rockets. In honor of Ron Burgundy coming to Emerson, I'll leave you with a quote from his sports guy, a real mentor of mine, Champ Kind. I'm all about having fun, you know, get a couple mocktails in me, start a fire in someone's kitchen, maybe go to SeaWorld, take my pants off. That's all I got. Back to you guys.
You know, Mike, I'm kind of feeling that way after last night's Patriots game. That controversial call just doesn't sit right in your stomach. You know what I'm talking about?
Nothing you want to do more than take off your pants after a controversial call, let me tell you. Yeah, it was something. It's still a little up in the air for me. I mean, I happen to agree with the refs on the call. Don't shoot me, please. But Rob Gronkowski wasn't going to get back to that ball no matter what, so therefore it was an uncatchable ball.
Well, you have that, so.
Now, we normally forget about them, but the Boston College Eagles are actually doing pretty well. So what are the team's bowl game chances?
Well, right now they're sitting at 6-4. Sometimes ending the season at 500 will actually get you a spot in a bowl game. They have 2 away games for the final 2 games of the season against Maryland and against Syracuse. They should be able to win one of those and get themselves into a bowl.
Exciting for the new conference for them. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. That's all the time we have right now. We'll take another commercial, but after, we're going to talk to Christian about why we're staying classy here at Emerson.
Welcome back. Here at Emerson, we're lucky to be visited by some big names in the entertainment and communication industries.
That's right. We had Larry David not too long ago. What was her name?
Laverne
Cox was here also. We were always having distinguished alumni come back, but now Emerson is waiting on a very special guest.
That's right. Great Odin's Raven and son of a bee sting. Everyone is up in arms for our special guest. Christian has more.
Thanks, guys. What do San Diego, Veronica Corningstone, and now Emerson College have in common? Ron Burgundy, of course. It has been officially announced that Ron Burgundy will make a guest appearance at our beloved alma mater. In fact, for one day, December 4th to be exact, Emerson's own School of Communication will be renamed the Ron Burgundy School of Communication. In the morning, there will be a press conference to chat with Ron. Then the official naming ceremony will commence. Later in the evening, Will Ferrell will introduce the screen Anchorman 2 for a private audience of Emerson students. It's kind of a big deal, guys. Justin Bieber has returned to the States with a top-secret Gatsby-themed celebration. After several mishaps in South America, the pop star decided to throw a swingin' 20s party that had expensive consequences if spoken about. Bieber made every single worker and invitee sign a contract swearing not to talk about the party. If anyone is to breach the contract, they will have a $3 million charge from Bieber, which was recently reduced from $5 million. Sounds more like a Fight Club theme party to me. Rule number 1, don't talk about Bieber's bash. Kim and Kanye have been scoping out some new prime real estate in Bel Air. The couple already own an $11 million house that is under construction, but they have publicly decided they want something more secluded. They were spotted on a 6-acre plot of land that is currently owned by Dr. Dre and worth upwards of $12 million. They plan to sell their current residence and build a mega mansion on this luxurious Bel Air property. a Nick Cannon posse imposter successfully pulled off a jewelry heist from Fred Siegel. The imposter called the high-end jewelry store, claiming he was a member of Cannon's workforce, and requested a lot of jewelry for Mariah Carey, Cannon's wife. The store obliged and met the man who was dressed then as a security guard in the Roosevelt Hotel. The man took the jewelry and told the clerk to wait in the lobby for him to come back with the cash. Clearly, the man never returned, and he got away with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. That's all the juicy gossip I have for you today. You stay classy, Emerson College.
All right, Christian, have we heard anything that happened in the Bieber party yet?
Yes, in fact, one of his neighbors walked by, and for just a millisecond, the door was open, and he actually said that a huge cloud of like weed smoke blew out, and he could smell it all. And apparently, it was like floor to ceiling with naked ladies, and Bieber had apparently hired a bunch of exotic dancers and had $10,000 in singles to make it rain. And he definitely made it rain because one of the dancers made out with over $1,300 in singles alone.
That's good. Good for him. I'm also really excited, though, about the legend himself, Ron Burgundy, coming. Christian, what are your feelings on the event?
Oh, I'm so excited for him to come. I'm actually really excited to find out if, Ron Burgundy's going to make a big joke of the entire event, and, we're going to find out if, what is the best mustache wax to catch all the ladies, or if Will Ferrell's actually going to give advice to students. Honestly, I kind of hope it's a big joke because, it's a week before finals, and it'll be a boost of energy that we need to get us through the semester. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm kind of hoping it's a joke.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Christian. The holidays are coming up, and Rose and Maggie are getting crafty. They have a gift idea that's so great, you can just sleep in on Black Friday. Ladies, how's it going?
Thanks, Anthony. So, Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, and before you know it, the holiday season is going to be in full swing. So Rose Fodera is here to show us an awesome idea of how to make a Christmas present or Hanukkah present yourself.
Today, I'm going to show you how to make a snow globe. It's so simple and so cheap. For materials, you need a mason jar, some super glue, some decorations that you want to place inside the snow globe, and a bunch of glitter, any color that you want.
Cool. All
now,
right.
I did get them all at the dollar store, so you can spend about $5 and you have yourself a very nice homemade gift.
Perfect.
So,
nice and cheap.
Let's get started.
Okay.
So you want to grab your lid and then grab whatever decoration you're going to glue on it. I have a nice little boy in all his snow clothes in here for Maggie to glue on.
And we've got this cool Christmas tree here, right?
Yep, and the super glue is waterproof, so you don't have to worry about them falling into the water and falling off.
So
there you
just
go.
glue the little figurines.
Yep, right there. And you can put anything in there you want. You just want to make sure it's not too big and it just fits in the jar, of course.
So
right in
just
there.
stick that right on.
Yep, and you want to make sure they stay on the white part and they don't go in that little orange part on the outside because that's going to go on the jar.
And you said this is waterproof glue, right?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So you got to make sure it's waterproof.
Yep, mine has stayed overnight and they are still stuck in there and they are not moving.
Cool. So once you glue.
Yep, you want to set that off to the side and let that dry.
All right.
And you're going to fill your mason jar with water. I have that done for you, Maggie.
Perfect.
And you don't want to fill it up all the way, maybe until that line right about there.
So then you leave like a nice air bubble there?
Yeah, you'll have a little space at the top, but it's just so that way when you put the things in, it doesn't overflow and spill on Anthony's mom's new rug.
Perfect.
All right, so you can go ahead and put your glitter in, Maggie.
Okay, so any colors you want,
Any
right?
color you want. You want to do the white and the silver.
Yeah, white for the snow.
And maybe some blue. Now, the glitter will dye the water a little bit. As you can see, I have a little bit of a purple tint in there, but I think it just adds to it, and it makes it look very nice.
So you just put in as much glitter as you want?
Go ahead and
load it in?
Load it in.
Well, I love glitter, so no problem with this.
And it will layer the top, but don't worry about it. When you flip it over and shake it,
it'll mix in.
It'll look like it's snowing. Absolutely. And you don't have to worry about it falling out because you will screw this on really tight and nothing will spill. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
And then you want to take your lid, flip it upside down right on in there.
Just pop it right in?
Right in. And then screw on your lid. And once it's on there really nice and tight, perfect.
So super tight so it doesn't
leak. Super. There you go. And flip it upside down. And you have a very nice snowy scene. Beautiful. I really like the blue in that. That looks really nice.
That looks really
Like a little winter wonderland.
I'm dreaming of a blizzard. I'm gonna put plenty of glitter in mine. I want canceled classes because of my snow globe. All right, Rose, thanks
Love
for
it.
coming on the show.
Of course, thank you.
That's all the time we have for this morning on GME.
Check back on Thursday. Kaylee Kroll will show us a technical way to stay in shape.
Have a great day.